Zack Snyder explained and defended his choice to make Superman a dark version of the famed superhero, someone who kills his enemies, despite fans' backlash. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Fans have always known Superman as a good hero, someone who saves people despite many of them struggling to accept who and what he is. He is the epitome of a classic superhero, and Zack Snyder challenged this idea in Man of Steel. Zack Snyder's Man of Steel gave us a revamped version of the famed superhero served on a dark and brooding platter. His attempt to reinvent the Kryptonian Kal-El was a conscious decision to reposition the character for his planned shared universe known as the now-defunct DCU. With this, the director knew what he was signing up for. In the 2013 movie, we saw how Henry Cavill's character grappled with his identity as he became Clark Kent. Snyder's attempt to modernize the hero came with a very bold and creative resolution, one that conflicted with his morality and goodwill. At the same time, the person who could be involved with the project seems more interesting than the pitch itself. In a 2023 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Harmon revealed that he was summoned to Warner Brothers by Zack Snyder himself. Although Rick and Morty has been running strong for many years now, many fans have been hoping for some kind of film from it. Some live-action attempts have been made by fans. However, they never hit as well as the series does. With its ability to turn everything into a joke and still be able to sneak in some existential dread, it is safe to say that Dan Harmon knows what to do with the series. Thankfully, the idea of a film has also crossed his mind. Not him saying, "I get to do it," or anything like that. He was totally a super fan and was just like, "Is there any way I can help get that movie started by using my Snyderness?" While the director has been focusing on individual projects as of late, he is best known for creating classic films like Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and 300. When he is not making iconic films like these, he seems to be just like the rest of us, devotedly following the lives of Morty and Rick. While a layman would have jumped at the opportunity to have Zack Snyder working on a movie for their very successful show, Dan Harmon was wiser than that. He understood the appeal of Rick and Morty and knew that he could make his demands very high when telling the director his vision for the hypothetical film. Harmon revealed that Snyder summoned him not from a position of authority, but as a fan of the series himself. The director wanted to convince Harmon to make a film with these characters, wanting to be a part of it in some way or another. He even joked that he could jumpstart the project with his Snyderness. So, the Rick and Morty movie is coming as soon as Zack Snyder gets back from his vacation, because I want to start with a Snyder cut of that movie, and then I want to do the director's cut of a Snyder cut release, so we can just have a 6-hour Rick and Morty movie and 3 hours of it is in black and white. Harmon stated that the film would be coming soon, and the story he put forth was extremely interesting. A year before Snyder approached Harmon about the film, The Rick, a more well-lived episode from Season 6 directly poked fun at the Snyder cut of Justice League, joking that 8% of it was just Batman dreaming. The show's creator seems committed to his jokes, even when he faces the people he is making fun of. Harmon continued the gag and mentioned that they will first release a Snyder cut of the film, then a director's cut. They will then ensure that the film is 6 hours long, with half of it in black and white. So, the Rick and Morty movie is coming as soon as Zack Snyder gets back from his vacation, because I want to start with a Snyder cut of that movie and then I want to do the director's cut of a Snyder cut release, so we can just have a 6-hour Rick and Morty movie and 3 hours of it is in black and white. No updates have come from this since, and the creators seem to be focused on the release of the 8th season. However, seeing a 6-hour-long film featuring black and white Rick and Morty, handcrafted by Snyder himself, would be extremely interesting. James Gunn confirms Superman will release in the USA and China on July 11, 2025, with a new teaser poster for Chinese fans. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Before the DC Universe was rebooted under the leadership of James Gunn, Zack Snyder had big and ambitious plans for his version of the DC Extended Universe. He was all set to expand the Justice League saga, and interestingly, one of those ideas also included adapting the Flashpoint storyline. Zack Snyder may not be at the helm of the DC Extended Universe, but his impact and popularity are still at an all-time high. The iconic filmmaker is known for his bold storytelling and stunning direction, and he has movies such as Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and his version of Justice League under his belt. But after James Gunn and Peter Safran took over, his vision was cut short, but left plenty of what-ifs. One of which involved Flashpoint Batman. Now, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who was set to take on the role, has revealed a major behind-the-scenes detail. In this version, Bruce Wayne dies, and his father, Thomas Wayne, becomes a much darker and more violent Batman. Moreover, actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who briefly appeared as Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, recently confirmed that he was almost returned to play Flashpoint. In an interview via Den of Geek, he shared that the legendary filmmaker had plans to do more movies. It's a famous comic book arc in which the Flash changes the past and creates a major alternate universe with major changes, including a different version of Batman. He continued, "But it was the first time that Lauren and I met. I remember meeting her for the first time, and she had just started The Walking Dead, and I was a huge fan. The idea was, truthfully, that Zack was going to do more movies, and that I think that there was a time when Flashpoint Batman would have seen these two characters in a much bigger role. We never got a chance to do that, unfortunately." Before they became famous for their roles as Negan and Maggie in The Walking Dead, Dead City, Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohan had a brief but iconic appearance in the DCU. That's right, both the actors played the role of Thomas and Martha Wayne in Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Not only this, but he also detailed that both he and his Walking Dead co-star Lauren Cohan, aka Martha Wayne, were originally cast with a long-term idea in mind. Unfortunately, Snyder's exit from the DCU meant those plans never happened. While 2023's The Flash included elements of the Flashpoint storyline and brought back Michael Keaton's Batman, Morgan's version of the character never made it to the screen. Fans of Snyder's vision still wonder what his version of Flashpoint could have looked like, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan suiting up as a more brutal, alternate Batman in a darker DC timeline. Also, he bombarded Cohan with questions because she had just started The Walking Dead, and he was already a fan. He added, "Their scene, which shows the murder of Bruce Wayne's parents, is one of the most pivotal moments in Batman's origin." Interestingly, it was also the first time Morgan and Cohan met each other in real life. In an interview via CBR, Morgan recalled that they filmed the scene in Chicago on an extremely cold night. "I remember peppering Lauren Cohan with all sorts of questions because she had just started The Walking Dead the year before. We were also both on Supernatural. I had done Supernatural on the first season. She came in the second season. We never got to work together. We met in Chicago, shooting the Thomas and Martha Wayne scene, which was super cool." Though short, their appearance left a lasting impression, not just on fans, but on the actors themselves. And they still look back fondly on their time as Batman's parents in the DCU. Releasing Superman simultaneously in the USA and China on July 11, 2025, reflects Warner Bros. And DC Studios' confidence in the film's universal appeal. China, one of the world's largest film markets, has shown significant enthusiasm for superhero films, with past DC entries like Aquaman grossing over $290 million in 2018.